Cinderella, a gentle story for little ones. Once upon a time, in a quiet little house, lived a sweet girl named Cinderella. She had bright eyes, a warm smile, and the kindest heart you could ever imagine. But Cinderella lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters, and they were not very kind. They made her do all the chores, sweeping, cooking, washing, cleaning, sewing, all day long. But Cinderella never complained. She hummed soft songs while she worked, and her tiny friends, the mice and the little birds, stayed beside her, cheering her up. They loved her very much. One sunny morning, something exciting happened. A royal messenger appeared in the village and read a big announcement. "The prince is having a grand ball at the palace. Every young lady is invited." The stepsisters jumped in excitement. "We want to go. We want new dresses. We want new shoes." Cinderella smiled softly and whispered, Maybe I can go too." But her stepmother shook her head. "Oh no, Cinderella, you must stay home. There is far too much work for you to do." Cinderella felt her heart sink just a little. She watched her stepmother and stepsisters rush around getting ready, laughing and talking about the ball. When they finally left the house, Cinderella walked into the garden and sat under a tree. She looked up at the sky and whispered, I wish I could go too." And suddenly, poof, sparkles of magic twirled around her. A gentle voice said, "Don't cry, dear child." It was her fairy godmother, glowing with warm light. "With a little magic," the fairy godmother said, "you shall go to the ball." She lifted her wand and touched a pumpkin. Poof! It became a beautiful golden carriage. She touched the mice. Poof! They became lovely white horses. And then she touched Cinderella's dress. Poof! It turned into a sparkling blue gown with shining glass slippers on her feet. Cinderella gasped softly. "It's beautiful, thank you." "But remember," said the fairy godmother, "at midnight the magic fades away." Cinderella nodded and climbed into the carriage, her heart full of joy. At the palace, lights twinkled and music floated in the air. When Cinderella walked in, everyone turned to look. She shined like a star. The prince saw her and smiled. "Would you like to dance?" he asked. Cinderella nodded shyly, and together they danced across the ballroom floor, slow and gentle, like floating clouds. But suddenly, dong, 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 the great clock began to strike midnight. "Oh no!" Cinderella cried. "I must go!" She ran down the stairs so quickly that one glass slipper slipped off her foot, but she didn't have time to pick it up. She hurried into the night until all the magic faded away. The prince found the glass slipper on the steps. "I must find her," he said. "She is the one." He searched every home in the kingdom. The stepsisters tried the slipper, but it didn't fit. Then Cinderella stepped forward and smiled gently. "May I try?" She slipped her foot inside, and it fit perfectly. The prince knew she was the girl from the ball. He held her hands and smiled with joy. Cinderella's heart felt bright and full. Her kindness had led her to a beautiful new beginning, and from that day on, Cinderella lived happily, lovingly, and gently ever after.